Good Friday morning, everyone. Welcome Matt to Weather with Sim again. I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. And in today's weather forecast, we are going to be talking about a huge warm up that's going to be coming this weekend, which is going to be bringing a huge storm system next week, which could bring severe weather, some flooding, and even, some snowfall to parts there of the mid Atlantic. And it could, very well bring some of that to, the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley. So we will be watching that storm system very closely, but we'll also be tracking an Arctic blast as we get into the middle of next week too as well, which will be right after that storm system rolls on through, and that could bring some more chances for snowfall. But make sure to stay tuned till the end so that way you guys know what to expect, as we are going to be, watching the deep south closely for both severe weather, flooding, and like I said, even a lot of rainfall. But also don't forget to leave a thumbs up too as well. Those help out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below as long as it's respectful. And some of you guys did not leave very respectful comments down below. So if I see another disrespectful comment from one of you guys, you'll be disqualified. So make sure it's respectful before you leave it down below. But let's first go ahead and start talking about this pattern setup. And as you guys can see, we are going to be dealing with a massive warm up as we get into the weekend, especially on Sunday, where we are going to be seeing coast to coast warmth. So we will be watching a lot of the United States closely, especially as that storm system starts to roll on through. And this is what it will look like as we get into Monday, December 9th, where we are going to be seeing potential for rainfall across the Ohio Valley, but also flooding and severe weather could be a thing across the deep south too as well, as the latest from the European model actually does want to show a little bit of, severe weather down here towards Arkansas, Mississippi, and Louisiana by the time we head into the beginning of next week, which we will be watching those areas very closely. And not only will we be dealing with severe weather, but we will also be dealing with the potential for flooding, as we do have a slight risk for flash flooding across Mississippi, Louisiana, eastern Texas, and as well as parts there of southeast Arkansas. So we will, like I said, be watching a lot of those areas very closely. This flooding even looks to continue as we get into Monday of next week, where it does look to shift off into the panhandle of Florida. And then on Tuesday of next week, this will continue to move towards the east, where places like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, panhandle, Florida, and as well as into Georgia will have that potential of flooding. So make sure to, get ready for that next week, as we could be looking at both flooding and as well as some severe weather. And then after that storm system brings severe weather and flooding, we are going to continue to track a lot of the storm system closely, as freezing rain and heavy snowfall is going to be possible across parts there of the mid-Atlantic and northeast, with still that potential for flooding ongoing across parts there of the deep south. And here's how much freezing rain you guys could see throughout next week. There's anywhere from now all the way through Thursday of next week, and you guys across the northeast and mid-Atlantic look to see that potential for, around a quarter inch of freezing rain, especially Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and as well as into parts there of eastern New York. You guys definitely need to be watching for icy conditions very closely. You guys over here across the northwest, especially Washington, Oregon, and as well as into Idaho, you guys could see a little bit of spotty freezing rain, but it's really going to be you guys up here in the northeast to see that potential for maybe around a quarter inch of freezing rain, as some of those dark pinks are showing up. And then after that, most of that storm system will be off, but we will still be a little, rainy across the east coast, as we will still have some showers and, of course, some thunderstorms ongoing along the east coast. We also will be watching, the backside of that system closely, as Arctic air is going to be surging on it and bringing the potential for snowfall across the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and as well as into the mid-Atlantic and northeast, which we will be watching those areas very closely. And then at the same time, we will, like I said, see a lot of that Arctic blast surge on in, bringing the potential for snowfall as we get into the middle of next week. So like I said, make sure to get ready for that, as even though we're going to be seeing a warm up this weekend, we still want you guys to be ready to bundle up, as more frequent Arctic blasts are definitely going to be likely. Let's now go ahead and look at a long range outlook now. let's start, by using the GFS model. Now, keep in mind that the GFS model is bullish sometimes, so obviously take whatever it shows with a grain of salt, as we are also heading really far out from now. But the next storm system that we're going to be tracking won't be till we get to December 17th, where we will be seeing some rainfall and as well as some heavy snow and freezing rain on, the northern side of that system. I don't think this is going to bring severe weather, but like I said, this is very uncertain and we are looking very far out. So like I said, please take this with a grain of salt, as we still don't exactly know how this will play out. But what we do know so far is that it is going to be possible that we may see a big storm system like this. So make sure to be watching closely, and as well as, staying informed with me, as we will keep you guys updated with the latest. And, we also will be tracking another huge warm up by the time we get into the end of next week, and as well as into the beginning of, and as well as the beginning of the middle of December. So we're pretty much talking the middle of December right here, where we'll be tracking a warm up with even some cold air likely to surge on in behind it, and that will eventually surge on in as this warm up heads out. But as it's around, this will, like I said, bring that potential for a lot of rainfall and as that Arctic air develops behind it, it will start to surge on in, and that's why we are seeing some of that rain turn into snow and as well as freezing rain. So make sure to keep that in mind as we get into the very end of next week, and as well as into mid-December. Let's now go ahead and take a look at your total snowfall that is anywhere from now all the way to December 18th. And as you guys can see, much of the northern United States is likely to see around a foot of snowfall as we get into the middle, and as well as on Wednesday, December 18th, which we will be watching those areas very closely. We do see a few strips of maybe around a foot of snowfall, but like I said, take that with a grain of salt, as this model is very bullish sometimes. We also could see maybe a little bit of snowfall across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes, as some of that, is definitely going to be a possibility. So, we'll at least be watching it very closely, but like I said, make sure to take that with a grain of salt, as we still don't exactly know what's going to be happening. And then for your total rainfall, there's anywhere from now all the way to December 18th, and as you guys can see, much of the eastern United States is likely to see above normal precipitation, especially areas across the south and southeast like Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, heading into the panhandle of Florida, and as well as into Georgia. That could maybe even continue into the Carolinas, which we will be watching closely at the beginning of next week, as we will have chances for severe weather and as well as flooding. So like I said, make sure to get prepared for the beginning and as well as the very end of next week, as we will definitely be seeing that potential for some severe weather and as well as flooding. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy today's weather forecast. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we will keep you guys updated with the latest, and so that way you can stay informed about the weather. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up as well. This helps out more than you know. And of course, leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down below. You guys can leave anything down below. It's not disrespectful, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Friday and as well as a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one, everyone. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Ooh.